All right, I'm here with amazing NIcole Ott, and she's going to share with us a little bit about her group and what she does in her business too.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you. Okay, so tell us the name of your group, where people can find your group in case they want to join it, and what your community offers to people.
Sure. My group is called Momentum, spelled with mom, capital letters, empowering special needs moms. And really, that's the message of it all. I'm a special needs mom myself, so it's a lot of I get where you're at because I'm living it myself. So we talk a lot about just the day-to-day stuff that we're dealing with and how to really cope with life in general when it's a constant obstacle course for us. And I focus a lot on self-care because that tends to be the one thing that we really just are not great at because we put our kids' needs first and we put us on the back burner on the end of the list, and usually we don't get to the end of the list. So that is my primary focus, just because I've been there, I've been to rock bottom, and I know what it's like, and my mission is ultimately to prevent that or to help moms get out of that.
So beautiful. Yeah, so neat that you were and are in that same boat that like all your group members are in right now.
Yeah, it's not going to change. I mean, I'm kind of stuck in the situation just as they are. I'm just a few steps ahead than they are in regards to coping with it and trying to find the positive over the negative and just moving forward. That's ultimately what it's all about. It is what it is, right? So
Absolutely. I wanted to hear from you specifically, like you, even though like I've been brainstorming with you on some of this, like you've actually inspired me with just some of your vulnerability in the past 2 weeks in your group and really not even necessarily like using that as an engagement tactic, but it's just been, it has had that side effect of people engaging with that vulnerability. But tell me what brought you to that new level in your group of just sharing just more authentically your journey.
To be perfectly honest, I was at a point where I felt like I wasn't great at small talk. I'm still think I'm not great at it. I like to talk about the deeper issues and really dive into the stress management and the self-care. So I talk about a lot of the stuff that people don't want to talk about. So I didn't quite know how to really tap into, okay, how do I make the small talk happen in a group day-to-day basis? So I talked to my coach about it, and she dug up some stuff that I didn't want to deal with, to be perfectly honest. Threw me for a loop for a couple of weeks, and then out came the very vulnerable post that came up a few weeks ago, which was basically titled, "I Didn't Want This Life." And I was really shocked by the response that I received. I knew it was something that needed to be talked about. I just didn't realize there were so many other moms who were struggling with the same thing and were thinking the same thing but weren't saying it, because on Facebook or any social media in general, you see a lot of happy faces, the happy moments, the putting up the strong front, but nobody really wants to address the underlying issues. And I just posted it just for my own sake, really. I wasn't even posting it just to get engagement in particular. That wasn't even my goal. It was simply I wanted to tell my story. I wanted to let people know they're not alone. And the responses were overwhelming, really.
So beautiful. I love that.
Crazy.
I love that. And I also, the other thing I was going to say that I really loved is how you let them help you name the group. Like initially you had a name for it, but then you let them like buy in and name the group with you.
Yeah, I'm a very practical person and very straightforward. And I was struggling with the idea of, okay, how do I let people know right off the bat what this group is all about? So I came up with 3 different names and I posted them and I let them basically take a poll on it. And it was by far the #1 answer. So there wasn't even any questioning or second guessing. Got a name.
That makes it easy, huh?
I know, I loved it. It was good. And it brings engagement. So, it's a win-win either way.
Definitely. Buy-in, engagement, all those things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I loved it.
That's amazing. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think it's probably really inspiring for people who you know, don't have entrepreneurs as their audience, to know that there is a space for them, and that, you know, they're able to use Facebook groups in order to, you know, create a thriving community. And is there anything else? So I know that you attended the first Facebook groups masterclass like months ago.
I know.
How was it attending that class? And then how do you feel like your journey has progressed since then?
Um, it was a lot of, when I attended the class, it was a lot of, I was in the growing phase, I was in the learning phase. So it was really just about absorbing all the information, taking a bunch of notes, and then having to actually take a step back and be like, okay, how do I actually apply this stuff?
Yes.
And it wasn't that the information wasn't there, it was just I was in a state of a little bit overwhelmed, and I had to just step back and do exactly what you said, tap into more my vulnerable side and sharing my story. And from that, it came much more natural. It came much more at ease. It wasn't about the technical side of things anymore, and no lack in trust factor and, you know, sales funnels. I had to completely let go of all those technical business aspect and simply go with what felt right. And that's ultimately what came out of it. But it is a different game, so to speak, with a group where you're talking about just service-based groups, not necessarily entrepreneurs, because we tend to hang out online every single day. My group, most of the time, the posts that I put up, I don't even get feedback until a week or two later. And so for anybody who's doing groups like that, just be aware that it's not going to be a daily conversation, and you're not going to get feedback right off the bat. You might hear from somebody about something you posted a month ago just because they only check in periodically.
Yes,
A little bit different setup.
Absolutely. And I love that you, like, thank you so much for normalizing that, right? Because I think people come to me who don't have entrepreneur audiences and they're like, oh, I posted something and an hour later, no one responded, you know, but I do think like getting to know the culture of your group and your community is so important, so that you're measuring your success based on your community and not based on another one.
It's a lot of trial and error, and then it's also really just testing the water. What do they respond to? What do they not respond to? And then half the time, to be perfectly honest, you just have to trust that they're still listening. Because I had a lot of people reach out to me through private messages who never responded on anything, never even liked anything in the group, but they were still listening. They were still applying what I was teaching them.
Wow.
So it has to be a lot of trust in yourself, that you need to just show up every day. You need to just share your message every day, even though you have no idea who you're talking to half the time. But they're still listening. They just only check in, and they may not have the time, or they may not, you know, want to publicly share some things. So it's that was the hardest part for me, still is to this day, to really just sit back and say, okay, I'm talking to myself, but I know somebody is listening.
Yeah.
And then you post something different, and suddenly you have 20 replies. So it's a lot of back and forth. You just have to keep moving forward.
And you have done so brilliantly at that, you know, really showing up consistently. And it's so neat. It is probably relieving when the PMs come in and when the engagement comes in, because you're like, what? You watched that video from 2 months ago? Why did you comment and like? And, you know, but knowing that for your tribe, right, for special needs moms, like knowing what's normal for them. And yeah. And like you were saying earlier, another thing I was going to mention that I so admire about you is how, you know, you, like when you did take the masterclass, you did absorb all the information, but then you just so authentically applied it in a way that fit to you, you know, like you let your group really, and your business fit your life. And you know, because you preach about self-care, and so you do really good at, you know, checking out of Facebook sometimes, and just like so authentically, like
you have to, for my own sanity.
Yes, but I feel like you do so good at like knowing the technical stuff, but then living it out in a way that's just really true to you and your business.
For me, it's a lot about not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. I can't talk to people about self-care if I'm not doing it myself. And when somebody does message me, I tell them straight up, these are my business hours, and this is what I stick with. And I'm not going to reply necessarily within an hour to your message, because I have my family, and that's priority to me. So it's a balancing act, and it takes a little while to figure out what schedule works for you. But it's definitely an individual decision. There is no right or wrong. I wouldn't blame somebody for working 60 hours a week, whereas I only work about 20 hours a week. So it's whatever fits your situation, and that can change over time too, and that's okay.
I love that. So good. Okay. Remind us one more time, if people want to find you, want to find your group, want to find what you're doing online, where can they do that?
Well, first of all, you can go on my personal page. It's all right there, the name of the group, and I post a lot of things publicly anyway, but the name of the group is Momentum, Empowering Special Needs Moms.
So great. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your heart and inspiring people to start their own groups and do it in a way that fits them too. Because I hear so many women saying like, what if it turns into this thing? And it's like, I love that you reinforced, no, you're in charge. So you get to do it in a way that fits you and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's more about helping in the first place. So the business part of it is secondary in the sense. I mean, I know I have to make money to sustain the whole idea. But as long as I'm helping somebody every day, even if I'm not getting paid, I'm happy. That's success in my world. So I'm good with that.
NIcole, I just love you. I love your heart. Jeez. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.